So here is a quick answer to Willis' question. Willis from Tools, Carriages and Modelling. You might see this as a nut. You might see this as a square nut. But I see this as a ready-made hole. I see this as even a strengthened ready-made hole. I see a nut and a bolt in a completely different... Here's a bolt. But you see, this is a female and this is a male. So, cut the end of that off. You've got yourself a locking mechanism. Turn it vertically, weld something to there. You've now got yourself a hinge, haven't you? Yeah, this is the beginning of a hinge when you're making a hinge for yourself. The reason I like this particular, the corner, you could weld something. If you wanted to put a square edge on something or weld it straight, as square as you can get it. These are square strengthening corners. You could weld this in and then to a plate or whatever, and then grind it flat, then put something up against it and weld it. They're good block corners, you know, if you want to make something as well as square as I ever make anything. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, this, if I asked you to drill a hole that big, that thick through there, just being at home, that's a problem. But you can cut something out and weld this to it much easier than, you know, going to the expense of getting a drill and then you've killed it, you've blunted it. How many drills would it take you to work your way from a little hole to a bigger hole to make a hole like this? So I see so many uses in this. I see this so useful. And again, you see, it's a female. It's a female of the species, isn't it? And this is a male of the species. So, you know, anything where you need to make a lock or a keep of a lock, or, you know, and of course, it's a big one, so it's a strong one, isn't it? Yeah. So it makes the lock mechanism, the locking mechanism. I'll make that. But how many slide bolts could you make with this? How many homemade security slide bolts and handles? Way stronger than anything you would. I mean, look at this bolt. This is a 10.9 bolt. You know, that's pretty much on the top of the league of steel shafts. So no one's going to hit that with a hammer and bend it and make their way in, aren't they? So once you've got this secured, you've got one hell of a way stronger than any bolt that you would find in the shops. Mainly because it's bigger anyway, but they're stronger. So that's how I see them. I don't see this. I see this as a portable hole. I see this as a strengthened portable hole. So it's not just a case of a hole in a material. If you wanted to put a, you know, you want to put a hole in a plate, you're only putting a hole in possibly a lot thinner plate, maybe half the thickness. Well, once you've welded this and used this as a hole, you've got yourself a real strong, strengthened hole, haven't you? And it doesn't really, you're a bit of a grinder and a bit of a welder, and you carry on making what you're making. This is going to be a really good, this would make a lovely hinge. If you were making something, you'd have your door or whatever you wanted, your gate. I mean, there's a hinge and a half for you, isn't it? Without a lot of aggravation, really. You know, put a plate at the bottom of here, plate at the top, cut it and grind it to whatever size you want. So, yeah, it's a female, and the nuts and the bolts are males, aren't they? Yeah. I know it's un-PC now to say male and female. But that's what they are. That is a female connector. And this is a male connector. And that's the end of that. Anyway. Whoops. Oh, God. Right. I nearly dropped you. Right. So anyway, I see them more than, and of course, also if you had to jam this in somewhere, it would be much easier to jam, slide along, push in, because you could put a wedge up against it to stop it from turning. So they're good that way, rather than an ordinary nut. And that would be, you could do it. It's not a case that it wouldn't be undoable, but it would be so much easier with this. So yeah, I don't just see a square nut. I see so much potential in this now. So much.